Hi, this is Zach here with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Friday, the 13th of October. Unlucky for some, starting off with the FTSE 100, which has failed so far at the 200-day moving average, 76.40. That means there's a risk of a return to the 50-day line, 75.10, although if we're lucky, we'll just stay above 7600, and then this is a mid-move consolidation ahead of a move up towards the February resistance line, 77.35. And then the top of the August rising trend channel at 78.50. RSI at 55, so still on the right side of neutral, and that gives us the glimmer that we could actually head higher after consolidating either side of the 200-day line. Moving on to the DAX, which gapped up last week and has now failed at the 200-day line, 15,600. That's also actually where the blue 50-day moving averages as well. So not a great look, not a great end to the week. We've got the floor of the gap there around 15,200, and then we have that May support line projection moving down towards the 15,000 area, which is the target while we remain below the 50 and 200-day lines around 15,600. Moving along to the Dow, and here another 200-day line failure, so we failed there multiple times since the end of last month, which is not a great look. 33,800, the zone there. Below that, there's the risk of it move down towards the floor of the one-year trend channel there, 32,900 over the next week or so. On to Bitcoin, which has also been looking rather ragged over the past few days. Here, we're right on the line there from back in January. We're still above the 50-day moving average, 26,400, but want to stay above that uptrend line there from the beginning of the year, and we'd like to get back above neutral 50 versus 45 on the RSI scale after that trend line break, which basically hurts the rebound that we've seen from the early part of last month. Moving along to the stocks, first one is Abingdon, and here rising trend channel, a wide one from this time last year. For the channel there around 9 3/4 pence. We're hoping for up to 18 pence by the end of next month, although at this stage rather difficult to see exactly what would give us such a wonderful move to the upside, but you never know. And 50-day line also rising now, so that gives extra momentum to this situation, which actually started off with that bear trap gap reversal back in August, so a decent signal there and holding near the top or at the top of that gap as well. So that's another positive on Abingdon. On to Audioboom, which for the first time I think in a year has actually exceeded our potential upside here. We had the shares breaking out of that wedge from July, bullish divergence going into it. We're now actually above the 50-day line at £1.70. Above that, looking for £2 over the rest of October. Best case would be up to £2.60 at the top of that broadening triangle from the end of June, but obviously given the recent history of the stock, that may be pushing it. But the key here is staying above that 50-day line. We haven't been above there properly since basically the beginning of March, so this is a bit of a sea change on the technical front. Moving along to Beacon, and here it's been a strong market all the way since the unfilled gap to the upside that we had back in August. V-shaped bull flag shaping up now and above the 50-day line at 0.16. We're looking for a retest of 0.28 from last month, and then maybe that could happen by the end of November. Rising trend channel here, and the top of the channel heading towards, I suppose, the 0.34 area. So that would maybe be a decent end-of-year target if everything goes well. Don't want to see the shares back below the 200-day line, 0.15. at any time. On to the stock of the week, which is still on the front foot at the moment. Two unfilled gaps to the upside for chilled brands. Rising 50-day line, so we're looking for 8 pence by the end of this month, maybe 10 pence by the end of next month, vaping permitting. On to Good Energy, and here we've got we had a very, very rough ride, very volatile situation here. So we rallied strongly from the beginning of September up towards 2.15, then came right back to £1.60. What's interesting now with this second attempt is that we've got the 50 and 200-day lines both rising, so they're heading for a golden cross maybe by the end of this month. And the rally here started with a bear trap gap reversal, our favourite setup, largely because it tends to be the most reliable one. And the view now is that while we're on the right side of the 195 area. Maybe call it 190 because that was the old July resistance, while we're on the right side of 190. We could be heading significantly higher. At this stage, the target here would be the top of a broadening triangle from this time last year as high as £2.60 to be hit by the end of next month. On to a stock which has recovered by a third in the last week, which is quite impressive. Hummingbird Resources. Shares went back to where they were at the beginning of the year, which seemed a bit strange, just below 7 pence. So it's a bear trap from below the initial January support. Initial target here was back up to the old 10 pence area, the support in August, and maybe we could creep up to 11.5 pence in the 200-day line by the end of this month, or even sooner, given the way things are going at the moment. Induction is next, and here we've had a vertical move, unfilled gap to the upside off the low, but another bear trap gap reversal. And the view now is that above the 24 pence level, which was resistance on the way down, we could go up to fill that gap towards 36 pence by the end of next month, or hopefully a bit sooner. 50 and 200-day lines both rising. That suggests we're going into a golden cross, which tends to speed up the upside in such situations. Moving along to Prospex, which is gently trying to recover. We've had a few false dawns here. In fact, we'd say we've had 3 false dawns, 3 failures to get through the 7 pence area. Hopefully this will be third time lucky, and above 7 pence, looking for up to 11 pence by the end of next month, at the top of that rising trend channel base from back at the beginning of May. 50-day line now rising, which is normally a decent sign, and so we're expecting that break through 7 pence to continue. Moving along to Pensana, and here the situation is that it looks like we're bouncing off the 50-day moving average after a bear trap, and that 50-day line around 27 pence. Above that, we're looking for another go at up to 40 pence by the end of next month, given the way that 50-day line is rising well, and we found support basically at the old July-August resistance for the shares. One of my favourite stocks has been Silver Bullet, and it looks like we're still consolidating within what should be a mid-move consolidation. Next leg up, if we can clear the £1 area in a sustained way, would be up to £1.40, and that's a 1-year resistance line projection. And the upside really valid while we hold above the upper 80s, so maybe 86, 87 pence. And that looks as though that could be possible, backed up by the golden cross for the shares at the beginning of this month. Stock which has been in the wars of late is Tirupati, but some signs of recovery here. Bullish divergence with the lower price lows for October, but higher RSI trace. That suggests that we could at least get up to 21 pence while we're above 14 recent support, and maybe 21 pence could be delivered by the end of this month. Tomco is next, and this one's been a bit of a difficult candidate of late. Just looks as though we're bumping along the bottom. We've got bullish divergence, which has been in place since the end of last month. Probably the only thing missing now is to break above the 50-day moving average at 0.07. Above that, looking for maybe 0.15 by the end of the year. Upland is also looking as though it's going to deliver a nice flourish for the end of the year. We've broken out of that what looks to be a mid-move consolidation between 2 and 2.9 pence. The other thing to note is that it looks as though we're in a rising trend channel from back in June. Floor of the channel currently around the 2.3 pence area, and above that we're looking for as much as 4.5 pence, maybe as soon as the end of next month. A nice U-shaped bull flag, as I would call it there, since the beginning of August. That looks relatively healthy on Upland. Just finishing off with Capital Metals, not in alphabetical order. Interviewed the company yesterday and published the interview today, and the shares have turned around quite nicely. I think they were down 3 or 4% or 5% at the beginning of the day, now up 16%. And the view now is that a break of the 4 pence level and that resistance line there from November, above that we should be looking at a decent target on the upside, which I'm going to try and deliver now, and that would be up to the line I'm about to draw now, which is towards the 6 to 7 pence area, and that is a resistance line projection from the beginning of the year, and effectively the top of a rising trend channel in place since the low, so up to 7 pence maybe by the end of next month, especially while we're above the 4 pence level on an end of day close basis. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.